I want to get into some of that. And because we had such a good introduction with our keynote speaker, she kind of covered a lot of the things that I was going to kind of hit, which is good. I'm gonna do a gear shift, and we're going to get down to where the rubber meets the road. We're going to start talking about what does this look like when you actually put legs on it and make it walk. I'm delighted this morning. I got my wife Jen here in the room with me. I truly say, and this is absolutely true, she comes up with good ideas. I just put legs on, and this is one of those good ideas that you've seen right here. So I want to share that. Here's where I want to start. I'm going to start with 10 questions, and I'm going to flush these out just a little bit. 10 questions that I want to talk about. Do people you meet know that you are a Christian? Let that sink in for just a second. How long do you have to be around somebody before they get some Jesus on? How many sentences in the conversation are you before they realize, oh, I'm talking to a Christian? Let me give you an idea. What does that look like? It's an actual question.
20 words or less.
20 words or less. That's great. If it's 20 words or less, that's probably a great place to be. I have a Christian cadet training program that I work with, and I teach apologetics to my kids. I'm like, look, how do you witness to the lady at the counter who's checking you out on your groceries, right? You're checking your groceries out. How much time exposure time do I have? I got about 10 seconds, maybe 5-second window. Can I get Jesus into that 5-second window? How would I do that? I mean, without being like obnoxious. Like, you're a sinner and you need to do it. Yeah, I'm not going to do that, right? How can I do it without being? God's good. That's a great one. You come up to they ask you how you're doing. I always say better than I deserve. Probably 1 out of 10 times they say, really? Why do you say that? I'm so glad you asked. Right? And I'm going to give it right back to you. God is good is another one. What else can we use? Give me another one. What can I pray for you about today? That's great. Are you here talking about, how's your day? Oh, I'm having a rough day. Can I pray for you for that? Now, I've only got like 6 seconds before the next person's in line. I'm going to pray prayer in 6 seconds. Lord, bless this lady. Help her through this. And make an impact. So, and that's just one encounter, right? That's the lady at the checkout counter. Yes, Ryan was saying earlier that really where we make the deepest impact is the people that we have close in our life. But and that should be a deeper impact. But it should be, if you're a Christian, how do we offend people with Jesus every time we see them, right? Michael said it's real. You walk into our office, you're probably, if you're in our office under 2 minutes and you haven't heard praise the Lord for somebody, check your pulse because you probably missed it. That's a good question. Are we commanded to witness? Is that a command? Yes. Anybody know where it is? The Great Commission, Matthew 28, right? And what's the command? Anybody remember how it begins? Go. That's correct. Go. This is directive. Go. Go out there. You're on the offense. And by the way, without offending anybody's eschatology, right? We're winning, and we're going to win. Just set your eschatology aside, whatever it is. Okay, I just happen to be close enough. Don't worry about it. The point is, there's no defensive command. There's zero defensive command. It's offensive. Go. Go make disciples. Don't sit back, wait for them to come to you and take from you. Go out there, plant seed, go. That's the takeaway. Get in the offensive mindset. Jeremy could probably share other stories about this. I taught him many days back when I used to be teaching company commanders how to lead in combat. I did not like to talk about the defense. I don't like to talk defense. I like to talk offense. Because defense, you just sit back, that's not us. We're not huddling up, waiting. Go out there and attack. When and where? Next question. When and where? When? Where? Goodness. Where does that go? All the world. All the world. Our church, when I grew up, had a little sign above the door. Some of you are probably have the same sign. The mission field begins here. As soon as you open that door of your church and you're walking out it, you're in the mission field. Yes, we serve in Africa, Korea, Europe, wherever else we take the gospel. There's plenty to do right here in Louisville. In fact, I could probably go right next door to you. Memorial Park, right over there. 5 people who meet Jesus every day. So when and where? So the question is always and everywhere. That's an answer to the question. How do you do this? Well, how do you kind of hit this a little bit? How do you start the conversation? Here's the big question. Does the ministry belong only within personal circles, or does it need to get into business? You know, obviously, probably the answer, or the answer is a little bit obvious. Go ahead and see what the answer is. Do we witness in business? Is God the God of the marketplace? Is it His? But why would we want to surrender that to the enemy? And by the way, there's only two teams. There's not three. There's not God's team, Satan's team, and everybody's in between. There is no in between. Either you're on Christ's side. Jesus said that. Either you are for me or you are against me. He also says they're not against me. But you're either for me or you're against me. There's only two sides to this coin, right? And we're looking where to go. There is Abraham Kuyper put it in the best. There is not one square inch in all of creation over which Jesus Christ does not cry, mine. It is His. And we are to go take it. Yeah. Go take it. How powerful are these Christians? Well, consider this. Apart from God, the most powerful being in the universe is probably Satan, right? But a single word fells him. One word out of a Christian, and you can bind the most powerful being in the universe. Satan, get thee behind me. He's done. How easy is that? That's enormously powerful. You have a ton of power. You have, in fact, infinite cosmic power. It's His. This kingdom is His. Go and take it. Bring it into the marketplace, bring it into the school, and bring it into church. Bring it into your family. Be bold. There's your major takeaways. We're going to get into how we do this. What about politics? Well, separation of church and state. Anybody heard that phrase? Free side. Is that in the Constitution?
Nope.
Nope. Is it in the Declaration of Independence?
Nope.
It's in the letter from Thomas Jefferson, where he's referencing, and that's actually taken out of context. If you read it, that has no play whatsoever in God's economy of the world. He doesn't care. He's no respecter of anything that people write. He doesn't respect that. Go and make. Go and make. So the gospel belongs in all three of these. Let's stop and talk about the schools for a minute. Now we have 7 children. 6 of them are homeschooled. We have 1 in public school. So we've been in a little bit of everything. He's actually special needs. What's the status of our schools? 4. It's a good one-word summary. Give me one. What is it? Atheist. Failing. I heard the word failing. What else? Oh, it's more than that. Hostile. Unfunded. Opportunity. Okay, good. We're starting to flip the script a little bit now. Right? Lost. Awesome. Well, if I said awesome, I apologize. First of all, as a tank officer, because we hear lots of loud explosions going right out here for 22 years. So all I hear is most of the time. You talk. Give it to me loud, please. It is a mission field. When did the situation of our schools become this way? When did that happen? Because that was not the case from the beginning. What event occurred?
Prayer out of school.
We took the Bible, we took prayer out of school in 1963, if I remember the statistic correct. 1963, we took the prayer out of school. And here we are, 50 years later. And this is where we are now, to where the schools are telling the families, this is how things are done. You can't be talking about that in the classroom. It was not that way from the beginning. It was not how it was designed. That's not Christ's kingdom. That's not how our nation designed it. But we allow it. You want to know why we allow it? Because me and you, allow it. Because we are afraid to take the gospel back there. That's why it happens. That's the simple reality. Now, maybe you don't have school-age kids, it's maybe not your particular place to go and make. This is probably your particular place to go and make. Take the world over for Christ. That's your job. Okay, the people that you do business, if I'm doing business with somebody, I'm having a business conversation, somebody comes up, talks to me about it, how far into that conversation is it? Before they figured out I'm a Christian, and specifically in my case, it's Christian trauma. In your case, how much time left? Just think about it. Last business conversation at the point. And I'm not talking about one that knew you well. It's a brand new client, right? You know, just got to introduce this guy. How many minutes into this conversation is it before you play your hand on the table? Then I'm a Christian. And evolve. Now, if you're in ministry, obviously it comes out right away. How are my marketplace guys? Who are my business guys? Okay, you guys, how long until that conversation comes up? And it's okay. You might say, hey, it takes me 5 minutes, it takes me 10 minutes. It could take me 20 minutes into the conversation to get there because of the nature of whatever. I don't know. You know. I want you to contemplate that. I use a line that Michael Collins came up with now. We knock doors all day long. Hi, I'm Mike, Redemption Solar Roofing. We're a Christ First local veteran company over what we do with roofing now on the roofing. First words out of our mouth. Does that work for you? Maybe. But if you don't have a plan to get that into the conversation, guess what? It's not getting in the conversation. You have to plan it into your conversation. And once you get comfortable planning it, I mean, I can ask any of my guys what keep me going on. They were Christ First, blah, blah, blah. Everything after that is the second. If it comes out, word one. I don't know where that fits for you. It might be, yeah, hey, I'm Dave, you know, I run a Christ First business with whatever. You can use that phrase, pick your own. Or maybe I'm in life insurance, and we help people insure their life all the way up to the time they walk to the pearly gates. Guess what? Conversation's there. I can sneak it in as a joke. I don't care. It's a different conversation. Should your company be Christian? How many business owners do you guys? Okay, so some of you guys can control this. Some of you guys can't. How many business owners in a room have a mission and a vision statement they wrote down? Okay, encourage you. First of all, we've got to do that. We'll talk about that in a few minutes. You want to do that? Does your mission and vision statement reference your faith? If so, why not? Or if not, why not? And are there different rules for witnessing business? I'm going to flip the page. Let's look at something. Well, before I press the button, can you guys name some Christian companies that you know? Give me some names.
Solar Redemption and Roofing.
Okay, fair enough. Heard that one. Give me another one. Chick-fil-A. Heard that one. All well tanks. Okay. What else? In-N-Out Burger. Yes. What else? Hobby Lobby. Cookout.
Noah's
I'm
Kitchen.
sorry, one slide ahead. So there's the three. Let me go back. Hold all those points. We'll hit them on the very next slide. Matthew, I should say 28, by the way. I wrote 29. That's a mistake. Go ye therefore, teach, baptize. Acts 17. Where was Paul when he was delivering the oration to the Greeks in Athens? Where was he? I was on Mars Hill. What is Mars Hill? It's the center of commerce. Right there. That's where he was. He was in the marketplace presenting the gospel. 1 Peter, when should we be ready? Always. Always. Not like, sometimes. No, like always. And if you're ready, okay, I'll tell you the plant Peter and Peter story now. Your name of this. I used to tell my guys, listen, we're leaders. Our eyes are forward on our head. We focus on one thing, and we're not worried about what's over here and what's over here. We're going after that. I'm going after them. Leaf eaters, plant eaters, their eyes are rotating to the side. And what are they looking at? Oh, this thing might eat me. This thing over here might eat me. This might get me. Which mindset is it we want? I want you guys to be leaders. Look straightforward, You're going after your target. That's your target. Your target is to bring the gospel. I'm winning souls. And if you don't think you're a war, go back and read Ephesians 1 and 2. Like, we're spiritual warfare. It's warfare, so I use warfare terms. Apologize for that. Actually, I really don't. But, don't let me say it. Okay, let's look at these guys. So here's Chick-fil-A, right? Everybody heard Chick-fil-A, Hobby Lobby, and that is Cookout, actually. 3 of those. We get In-N-Out burgers. How do you know Chick-fil-A is a Christian company? They're not open on Sunday, okay. We know that. If I'm not a Christian, does that tell me anything? Not necessarily. Good. The mission statement is inside the restaurants. We'll look along their walls, oftentimes small, unfortunately. You can find a small plaque that says maybe they're founding or whatever else. That's in there, and that's not bad. If I went to their website, how deep do I have to dig? How deep do I have to dig before I know Chick-fil-A is a Christian company? Maybe never. Go to the website. You have to navigate to the bottom of a very long page, find the About Us button, scroll over to that, scroll halfway down that page, and then you get this statement, corporate purpose, to glorify God by being a faithful steward of all that is entrusted to us. Absolutely a Christian company. Why is that on their About page, buried halfway down, on a page that's difficult to get to? Why is that there? Why is it here? Why is that not on their front page? And I'm not picking on Chick-fil-A. I love the company. At this point, they don't need to do that. At this point, they've got the nice, quiet witness because everybody knows. Right? And they're good. They're fine. But how much more powerful would it be up front? Because then it would encourage others. What about Hobby Lobby? How long to figure out, if you go into a Hobby Lobby, how long do you figure out they're a Christian company?
Playing music.
They're playing Christian music. That's a really good start. That's playing in the background. I'm feeding souls back to you more.
They're not participating in Halloween.
Say again? Yeah, they're not participating in Halloween. That's a big deal. That's a big deal in our culture. What else? Give me more. How many Bible verses are on plaques around the store? A good number. You can probably figure it out. They have a whole section on just Bibles and stuff like that. That's there. Okay, for Hobby Lobby, that's a good way to do it. Now, if I went to the website, I wouldn't see it for a little while, for the bottom page. But they're out there. They're designed to bring people into their store, so they're pretty out there. What about Cookout? Can you guys see that? If I can't. They got little Bible verses. That says Proverbs 35:6. There's another one over there. It's too dark for me to read. I guess I should give you the slide. They put it on their cups. Well, let me show you this. There's going to be a surprise. These are all Christian companies. I bet you don't know it. Anybody know that upper left one? What is that? That's Trigicon. Trigicon is a fantastic Christian company. They had $1 billion, actually multi-billion-dollar defense contract with the military to provide advanced combat optics. I carried that optic, that exact one, in the war room. Great optic. They lost their contract because embedded within their serial number are Bible verses. So the serial number is, 67321 JN:3:16. John 3:16 off it goes. Every one of their serial numbers had a Bible verse embedded into it. Very strict, subtle. Once that was discovered, the military kicked them out. They lost the contract and awarded the lesson because now all of a sudden they're one of the largest in the private sector for selling rifle optics. That was very subtle. Did you know they're a Christian company? Would you know? You wouldn't know. Okay. How about Tom's toothpaste there? Anybody know anything about that? Same thing. Now they're small, but they make the same thing. What about Wendy's? Dave Thomas, have you know his story? Strong Christian. Very strong Christian. Theirs is a little bit more obvious. You go to the website, it's kind of on the bottom of the first page. It's not bad. It's very close. Anybody know what this one in the middle here is? This little grill thing. That's the George Foreman grill. You know who George Foreman was? Yeah, he's a prize fighter. He's really good, but he's also a pastor, which is super cool. He sells these things. And he's pretty public about it. What about the one next to that? Anybody know that symbol? That's Walmart. Wait a minute, you saying Walmart's Christian? Yep. Sam Wolf founded it, very strong Christian. Sam Wolf, though he's dead, he and his family still own 48% of it. It was passed on to a fellow Christian, but within their 48%, they're designed specifically to safeguard the Christian values of, wait for it, Walmart. I was shocked. I had to go back and research that 3 different ways to make sure those facts were actually correct. Now, it might be slipping, I don't know. Sam's dead, right? Just like Walt Disney, when he died, right? That's pretty fast, but they're still there. They're still holding the line. They're certainly not putting it out there. But that's important. That's why I shop at Walmart. I don't shop at Target. I refuse to. Although I have to look at somebody told me the other day that Target repented of some stuff, so I'm not going to go back and buy something from them. Something. Curves. Anybody heard of these guys? Strongly Christian company. And that was a little bit over Carl's Jr. Same thing. Great American Pure Flakes. Tyson Foods. They process chickens primarily. Christian company. Very overtly Christian company. Go to their website, they're not hiding it. They're right up front. In-N-Out Burger, somebody mentioned that. How about Alaska Airlines? Look at this. I will praise God's name in song and glorify Him in thanksgiving. Psalm 69:30. Alaska Airlines. You know what this means to me? Where do I spend my money? Where do I spend it? I will go out of my way to go find these things. But how many of us go out of our way to go eat Chick-fil-A? It's not convenient. It's good food. It is. But I'm going to drive right past McDonald's, go to Chick-fil-A, and buy from Chick-fil-A. Why am I doing that? Tell me why. Support. You more? Tell me more about that. More than just supporting it. What does that do?
Your money creates kingdom purpose.
That's it right there. If you go out of your way and find a Christian company and put money into that Christian company, it's supporting kingdom purpose. It absolutely is. Think conversely. Where do I spend money that doesn't? I buy from Amazon. I know we all do. Right? Got it. Amazon. Where's that money go? It's anti-Christian. It's not neutral. It's absolutely anti-Christian. Now, it's a marketplace, so it really kind of goes to support the manufacturer as well, but that's important. All right, let me give you how we do it here. I do want to pause here, though. Where are you spending money? Where are you? I know there's an organization here, the Christian Advantage. I know Michael Collins is starting the
Christian Chamber.
Yep. We are going to be starting one called Redemption Marketplace, which is going to be, if you've ever heard of B&I, it's going to be B&I with a very overtly Christian approach, and you have to be Christians to be in it. And we want that. Why do we want those type networks? This is great, by the way. This is great. But how often does this occur? Once a quarter? Right? It is better if I can network with Christians every week, where I'm accountable to them every week, and we grow together every week and generate business. So I encourage you to seek out some companies. Now, let me just show you, this is how we do it. Now, you don't have to do it this way, but I just want to show you how we do it. This is our website. You go to the first page of our website, powered by the sun. By the way, we got that from a client. A lot of people miss that. Change the spelling on the sun. What's that saying? Let's go back one. Sorry. There it is. Our mission statement and our vision statement. If you haven't written a mission statement, write it. Pause, take some time, and make it deliberate. Free aside, as your regular mission statement, it's okay. Jesus is a capitalist. Read the parable of 3 talents. The absolute is a capitalist. He wants a return on his investment, and that's what we provide. We provide a return on investment. So be okay with that. Be comfortable with. By the way, be comfortable running a company that turns a profit. I always, whenever I'm paying one of my somebody who's doing work for me, who's not in my company, I always ask them, are you making money doing this? Yeah, I gave you a good deal. Great, I want the non-good deal price. I want to give you that. Why? Because I'm able to turn around and put it back in the kingdom. Go out. It's okay to be blessed by the labor of your hands.
Amen.
Yeah, exactly. I had a friend of mine, who you guys know him. He started a restaurant, and the restaurant was having some struggles because he felt bad about paying himself. Like, are you glorifying God by letting it struggle? If you struggle, that's the Lord provides in abundance. You're not taxing him, and you're not taxing these people. give generously. We want to give generously. When I go to the checkout counter now at Walmart, I'm a lot more excited about it after doing some research. A lot more excited. Yeah, I hesitated, trying to hit the button at Amazon. I got it. It saved me time. Feel good about it. Vision statement. So we serve, right? Look at this. Redemption Roofing honors Christ by serving. Where is that on our website? Get to that. And there's our mission statement. We serve one another. If you haven't been to our website, go check it out and see some. There it is, Ephesians 1:7, second priesthood fidelis. By the way, that's anybody know what that means? Anybody know any Latin? Always faithful to Christ, or you can flip the words. I got my Latin instructor back there to tell me, is it always faithful to Christ, or Christ is always faithful? But either way, right? Depending on how you conjugate that verb. It's also a play on words. This is a free aside. The Marine motto is Semper Fidelis, always faithful. Just in Christo. It's got a triple play on meaning. It's actually pretty cool. This is from our website. Our motto, our mission, our vision. There's our statement of faith. I want to give you a business tip. It's a business tip. One more time, business tip. If you're going to be a company, you're going to grow. At some point, you're going to become a threat to the enemy. You're going to become a threat. By the way, if you're not under spiritual attack, I got a few questions for you. Right? You're not a threat. Satan will not attack that which is not attacking him. He's going to ignore you. He's got better things to do this time. You should be under attack. If you're under attack, consider it a badge of honor. All right, Lord, always under attack. What giant am I facing? By the way, a free book to read. Read this. Put this in your library. I get all my good books from my wife. All of them. Bruce Wilkinson, The Dream Group. Bruce Wilkinson, The Dream Group. You put it on audio, it's an hour and 30 minute listen on audio. I listen to almost all my books on audio. Hour and 30 minutes, The Dream Group. If you try something hard, you're going to fall under attack. But I promise you, the more often you fall under attack, the more comfortable you get with it, the better you get at it, the more Lord blesses. I put this on our website for a reason. This is not only what we believe, it is also a protection clause. If you want to keep your company Christian and keep the company valuing it, get your values published and out there. If any day somebody were to step in and say, well, you know, I'm a homosexual, Satanist, and whatever else, I want a job. Okay? If you want a job with us, you have to affirm that. You okay affirming that? I'm going to read some of this to you, right? Muller-Bringing, Christ-centered company adheres to the following statement of faith as the core motion of the company. We believe in one eternal God, creator of all things, revealed as Father, Son, and Holy Spirit. On it goes. We believe in the deity of Jesus Christ, the first verse in his life, etc. Goes on down to talk the Nicene Creed. We believe God created man, male and female. We believe that sex is a gift of God to be enjoyed only in the context of marriage between one man and one woman. Whoa. Those are heavy statements. Why are they there?
To protect your company.
That's exactly why they're there. That's who we are. And yes, I already had the conversation with a couple of lawyers over there. Hey, I just want to make sure if I put this out there. So if you put it out there now, and it's in place for particularly years in advance, I think this has always been the case. If you walk into redemption, we're praying all the time. If you're not going to be comfortable in that environment, don't come. I mean, you can make lots of money in our industry. Our industry is rife with corruption, unfortunately, as an industry, which is a large reason what we do. Plenty of guys make lots of money doing what we do. Don't need Christ. You can make a ton of money. Go do it. I mean, you can make money doing anything. Pick anything in the contractor's field. Install HVAC, install floors, do siding, those guys. Pick it. You name it. Electrical. There's plenty of money. Anybody out there says, "I can't get a job"? Nonsense. A bunch of nonsense. Pick up a hammer, pick up some nails, go do some work. Go create a handyman company. Doesn't take anything but a toolbox. And you can make money if that's your goal. But if you're with us, this is where we are. You want to come with us. And I guess this is time to tell our story. In 2022, January 1st of 2022, I retired from the Marine Corps. I've been out for a few years. Tried to do a business venture, it didn't work. I had started with another roofing company, helped them start a branch here in Louisville, and out in Charlotte, North Carolina, and they were a Christian company. until they weren't. And they really weren't. They like went off the deep end. And so Jen and I, through a lot of prayer, I mean, we prayed for about 6 months, and we pled with the owner, don't go down this road. He went down there. And all the Christians in the company, I left first, and the rest of them all left. Like, it was, you could see the ship was sinking because he was going after money instead of after Christ. He changed his guys. We refinanced our house, took all the equity out of it. Later on the altar, Lord, this is yours. What do you want us to do? And we started the church we were with was gracious enough to give us a place to rent office out of for a few months to start the thing. And on day 2, technically day 1, some of the guys who tried to join our team came under lawsuits from this parent company. Even though they were 1099s, they couldn't do that. So half of our money went to a lawyer to protect them. And we're like, Lord, I don't know how this is going to work out. Michael Collins, about 3 months into that venture. We're now 4 years old. And from everything I've read and understand, we are now, entirely by God's grace, the largest residential roofing installer in the city. And there are hundreds of roofing companies with 5 branches. We have 3 in North Carolina, 1 in South Carolina, 1 here. None of that is anything that we do other than to be faithful to Christ every single day. That's who we are. And we step out in faith and make these bold statements. Here's us. Here's our stuff. I mean, if you haven't seen our trucks around town, where you got the cross is overtly and covertly in there. By the way, in our identifier logo in the upper left-hand corner, you can find Bible verses, serving others. Can it be like this? Should it be like this? Is it too direct? I want you to take a minute, just pause and say, okay, maybe you can't do this. That's okay. You don't have to do that. Right? This is all the way in. This is all in. Okay, where can I fit it? How long into the conversation before they know I need a Christian company or I'm a Christian? And it should not be. If I can't get 3 minutes in that conversation, they figure that out. I encourage you, rethink your approach. Rethink your approach. This is what that has to Okay. There you go. Questions, comments, okay. I'm gonna do it on time. Who's my clock? I got 5 minutes? Perfect. Okay, I'm gonna go into questions. I have a question. I want somebody to tell me, what can you do different? What's the takeaway? What can I walk out of this room today and change in the way I approach my business that helps me take the marketplace to Christ?
Listen, I have been with Michael. Well, here now, I also have a massage therapy business here in Louisville. Years. These 2 guys have been really into wanting our business to become a Christian company, which it has not been until I met you guys. And I started to make some changes, and I'm here today to learn how to make this more. I'm super excited, and thank you guys so much. I got to run over and work everything because the biggest lesson of my life. And it's all God's will. God is doing it in the community so I can grow in my own journey.
Very good. Somebody else, what can you do different walking out of here today? One thing, I don't care what it is, it's small. Or I can just stand here and look at you for a while, and that's what he's doing.
Acknowledge the fact that your business might be the only type of Jesus someone ever sees.
Amen.
That's bold. That's strong. She might be right. You might be the only person, you might be the only exposure they get. That might be it. Today, whatever you're doing, you might be the only exposure. Can you offer to pray for somebody? How hard is that? If you plan for it, if you plan in your mind, before I leave this conversation with this person, I'm going to offer to pray. If it's a client, what am I looking for with a client? What am I looking for? I'm looking for say it. Conversation. I'm looking for a need. Right? If I'm going to sales, by the way, you're all in sales. It's free sales. Don't sell everything every day. Don't sell. Including selling the gospel. I'm looking for a need. Right? Roofing. Nobody wants a roof. Anybody want a roof? Everybody needs a roof. Right? When the time comes, you don't have a choice, right? You're roof or work, your choice. I'll take roof. After that, cake or death? Cake. I'll take that. Right? When you find the need, and if you're talking to your client, you want to get past the solar conversation, not the roofing discussion. Tell me about yourself. Oh yeah, I got 5 kids, one in college, and it's really hard. What is that? Prayer opportunity. Great. Hey, before I leave, can I pray for your daughter? What's her name? That's it. That's how hard it is, right there. How many people say, no, you can't? You want to know how many? I've had to say, no, you can't. Never. Never happens. Doesn't matter. I don't have to make it a long prayer or something like that. Just, offer my faith. I'm praying for you. Dave, pray for Dave's one word. That's it. I made an impact. And you would be surprised how often I get clients come back to me and say, you know what, Mike? I went back to church because of that conversation. Michael, how often does that happen to you?
Almost every appointment.
But how often do you plan it?
I'm always intentional.
There's it. All right, I don't have anything else. I guess I'm out of time anyway. Are there any last questions for me?
I got
No,
one.
go.
What is your biggest win? Like when you look at a story or an experience as your business has represented Christ. You've given us a lot of big picture. What's like one specific thing you're like, this day or this memory or this experience is one of the best?
Okay, that's a great one. My best experience, hands down, is with our people. The people that we have, and let me share you a story. We have people that come to us and are like, I just need to find something to kind of get me through. I have one guy on my team who joined us. He was coming here from seminary. Hey, I got a little sales experience. I need a job. So, okay, well, let me see if I can open up a door for you and give you the opportunity to serve, to bring the gospel, and to actually be blessed by the hand of the Lord. And he said, okay, Mike, I need to make this dollar figure to survive while I'm at school. Yeah, I think you know. Last year, he tithed more than that amount back to the church because the Lord just opened doors to bless him. Changed and transformed his life. And he's brought more and more people in. Everybody who comes to the company, and Marie's just one example, it's a totally different environment. Totally different. It changes them. Like, I will never go back into that pagan realm again. I won't do it. I won't do it. If there's a redemption shut down tomorrow, I wouldn't go back to pagan. I'd go find another Christian. I'd probably start another Christian. But if not, I'd go find one. Because it makes all the difference in the world. And maybe for you, either you change your culture, you make it more overt, maybe you change your job, whatever it is. I just encourage you, when you get in the mindset of sharing the gospel and serving Christ, he'll bless you and he'll open doors you've never seen before. He's got a bigger vision than you do, and we'll see. That's all I've got. So thank you guys. What happens now?
Well, that's it.
Have a break until you're announced to the next one. How long is break?
The next session's at 11.
Okay. 10 minutes, hit the head.